The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene, and we are talking win-loss projections for the upcoming 2021 NFL season. The AFC East will go through each and every team, break down their 16-game schedules, and give you our predictions for how we see this season coming down for each team in the AFC East here. The AFC East got matched up with their intra-division rivals and their cross-division rivals. They got both Souths. So it kind of ended up that the schedule is not too bad.
It's not too ugly. I'll be honest with you, I see this division ending a lot like it did last year. The Bills were 13-3, the Dolphins were 10-6, the Patriots were 7-9, and the Jets were 2-14. Mm-hmm. The only thing I'm going to do is flip the Jets and the Patriots. I mean, I don't think the Patriots are that bad, but I think they're the worst team in this division.
I would agree with that. I think there's going to be that's going to be the shakeup at the bottom of the division. The Jets basically take for me the place of the New England Patriots last year. The Patriots will fall down to the god-awful spot at the bottom of the division, and then you're going to continue to have the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins fighting for supremacy at the top of the division all season long. So let's get into the first one here, the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills open up the season against the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday, September the 12th, the first of their 17-game schedule. I'm glad we've got 17 games. One more game just
I'm never going to be sad about more football.
No, it means so much more to me now that we have this. I'm going to be honest with you. I think the toughest stretch of the Bills season is the first 3 games of the season. I
don't know that I agree with that. For me, it's from Washington to Tennessee. Because you got those the Kansas City and the Tennessee game on the road. Mm-hmm. And that's not ideal, but I'll be honest with you, once you get past that, there's not a whole lot more to it.
No.
I don't see any way that the Bills don't end up with double-digit wins winning this division.
I agree with you. I don't really see a path for that either. I mean, they just ended up getting a whole lot of easy, quote-unquote, games on their schedule with the Houston – you got Houston, Jacksonville,
the Jets twice.
Yeah, the Jets
Patriots
twice. The Patriots twice. Atlanta Falcons, the New Orleans Saints. Feel like they got a very easy schedule.
Almost all of those are wins. No doubt. They might let one slip, but I think that's at worst.
I mean, every team every year is going to have that one game where you're just scratching your head going, what is going on with this? But I'll be honest with you, I think they got good fortunes.
I do
in
too.
The schedule release.
I believe I'm a little higher, excuse me, you're a little higher on Buffalo than I am. Mm-hmm. You have them at 15-2,
which is crazy.
I have them at 13-4. I feel better about my projection than I feel about yours. Mm-hmm. Of which I can't say the same thing about every team in this division because I think you're probably a little more realistic on the Dolphins than I am. But to me, the Buffalo Bills win this division easily. I mean, you've got them winning it by 5 games. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's that easy. I don't think you're winning it that easy.
No. It's just as I went through the schedule, I had to think to myself, how does Buffalo lose this game? And I couldn't come up with enough excuses in enough games to give them more than 2 losses. I know it's going to happen. But this is, to me, pie in the sky. Buffalo Bills end up 15-2, and they're going to waltz right through the playoffs. I've got them in the championship.
Yeah, you got them playing in the Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Uh-huh.
And, of course, Homer Tank Spencer has his Buccaneers winning a second Super Bowl.
Shocker.
I don't, and much to the happiness of Buffalo Bills fans, I have you winning the Super Bowl.
This is your Super Bowl team. It's a year that Josh Allen, you think, could take the next step and carry this team to the ultimate promised land where they've never been before.
I do. I just look at this team and go, with Stephon Diggs, I think they're going to run the ball better this year. I believe tremendously in Josh Allen. I like the talent. I like that you added Greg Rousseau. You brought back Matt Milano, Darrell Williams. I just look at this team and go, I think an extra year together, they have less deficiencies, in my opinion, than any team in the NFL.
We are in the Sportsocracy here. Hit the subscribe button so you will see all of our videos throughout the season. We will continue with our team-specific content right here in the Sportsocracy. Again, subscribe to the channel and follow along all season long with your team. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene.
Yeah.
And we're live at the Wicked Weed studio. WickedWeedBrewing.com. Drink different. And now time to talk about the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins, I like what they're doing here. I like Chris Greene. I like their coach, Brian Flores. I think they've done a great job of building a team that is ready to take the next step. The big question for them is going to be Tua.
And I agree with you. So let's get into the Miami Dolphins.
The Miami Dolphins are building a winner. Brian Flores and Chris Greene are building a team that can contend for a championship. Maybe not this year. They'll contend for a division title this year. But I think 2 to 3 years from now, depending on the development of Tua Tagovailoa, this could be a team that is going to be a Super Bowl threat in the AFC moving forward.
Tua is the big question mark. I look at the weapons you added with Jalen Waddle, Will Fuller, who health is always a question, but I look at that with Devontae Parker, Mike Gesicki. I like the weapons here a lot. I like Hunter Long more than probably anybody on planet Earth.
Right.
Now, I do have questions about him and Gesicki playing together, but that's only a problem for a year. Because Gesicki will be a free agent after this year.
Right.
I still don't know who's going to run the ball for them, and that bothers me. And yes, I know I'm the guy that says running backs are a dime a dozen, and I do feel like Miami's going to do something. I just will feel better when I know what it is.
Okay.
But now looking at their schedule, like every team in the AFC East, I don't see a lot of losable games here for them.
No.
I don't see any way that they're going to lose to the Saints. I don't see any way that they'll beat the Jets at least once. I think they beat the Panthers, the Texans, the Falcons, the Giants, and the Jaguars. That's 7 guaranteed wins to me, no doubt. Then you take the other 10 games on the schedule, and it becomes a question of what percentage of those games can you win? You've got them winning not as many as I do.
That is very true. And look, when I did my original projections without seeing how the season unfolded, how it was actually scheduled, I had them with 10 or 11 wins, being right there with the Buffalo Bills behind them. But just when I went week by week and looked at the schedule, it all changed for me. I think they're going to have a really rough start to the season. They got the Buffalo Bills in week 2. They got at the Vegas Raiders. Then they play at home against the Indianapolis Colts. And then they're at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's weeks 2 through 5. That's going to be a rough start to the year. And I think that could do something to the psyche of this team if they start out 1-4.
And I don't disagree with you in that. I just believe in this team a little bit more. I look at all the talent. I look at the defense. I look at the pieces they've added. They brought in a lot of guys in the draft that are going to be pro-ready. Liam Eichenberg is one of the most pro-ready prospects in this draft.
Right.
He's going to slide right into right tackle, and to me, that gives you an even bigger boost with Robert Hunt. I've said this forever. I saw him as an elite guard when he came out. Playing him at right tackle, I was not super fond of. I now understand what they were doing. I now understand why they didn't take Penny Sewell at 6. If that's your goal and you think Austin Jackson can be your left tackle, all about it.
To me, there are a lot of landmines on this schedule.
And I don't disagree with that. I just think they're going to win more of those than you do. I think this team is really, really good.
Right.
And I don't necessarily believe in Tua Tagovailoa, but I believe in him enough that I think 11-6 is realistic for Miami.
The Miami Dolphins will contend for this division. Don't let my 9-8 prediction fool you. This is not a team that I'm down on by any stretch. It's just the question mark of can their quarterback develop into a good starter in the NFL. And I was on the Tua Tagovailoa train last year. I'm going to be on it again this year. I gave him a lot of breaks last year for, the weird offseason and all of that, not having the proper time to prepare for a rookie year. I think there is a lot to look forward for the Miami Dolphins.
I got to use the 17-game schedule. 11-6 sounds so weird, and I think I put 11-5 up on the screen.
You did put 11-5.
I didn't friggin' mean to.
That's okay.
It's supposed to be 11-6. Now you believe in Miami a little bit less than I do. You've got them third in the division behind the Jets.
Yep.
You don't. I mean, they're in playoff contention. They would be in it until the end, but you don't really have them threatening. I, on the other hand, do. I have them as the first team out. They actually lose a tiebreaker. I can't remember with. Or no. I keep screwing up the teams that stop changing jet in the playoffs. I have them as the first team out. They finish a game behind the Indianapolis Colts and the LA Chargers.
I think they're pretty much in the same spot they were last year. And honestly, before I went through the exercise, I had them as the 7th team in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So,
and they very well could be that. Yeah. I could be too high on the LA Chargers. There is a possibility of that. And if I am, then Miami's the only other team in the AFC that I can see making playoffs.
Yep. Miami Dolphins, second best team in this division, even though my predictions don't say so. But I think they are clearly the second best team in this division with the Jets and the Patriots snugly behind them. We appreciate you joining us here in the Sportsocracy in the Wicked Weed studio. Hit that subscribe button. Join us on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy. Also, check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/thesportsocracy. The Miami Dolphins, things looking pretty good down in South Beach. I really don't know why I did that. I really don't know why. We went through this little exercise, and I ended up with the Miami Dolphins with two less wins than I had in my original.
You had them behind the Jets, too.
I did. Somehow it just turned out that the New York Jets were the second-place team, and I looked at it immediately and went, that's not right. That's not how that's going to go down. That's not how it's going to go down at all. So let's talk about that third-place team.
Speaking of the third-place team.
That's right.
The New York Jets.
The New York Jets have a new head coach.
My 2021 AFC East champion, New York Jets, Jets.
You got Rob Salah is now there. Joe Douglas now has a competent head coach to run the players that he has put together here.
And he has 2 ones in the next year's draft, and one of them's going to be pretty damn good because I don't think Seattle's good at all.
Zach Wilson comes in, obviously the rookie, the star rookie, and that's my big question for them. I like the talent that you put around him. With Corey Davis, I think you've done really well to give him the best chance to succeed, much better than you ever did with Sam Darnold.
I would agree. I like the fact that we go through a period of the schedule that goes Texans, Eagles, Saints, Dolphins, Jaguars. I'm a big fan of that because that's 4 wins to me. This team is really good, and they got they had some benefits of the schedule. They only play 7 real road games this year. One of them's in London. And then you play 9 home games. And I look at that with Zach Wilson, getting him acclimated to the Meadowlands. I am a big fan of this Jets team. And surprisingly enough, I never thought I would say this. Whoop, wrong team.
Wrong one.
Wrong one. There it is. You're actually more fond of them than I am.
I am. Somehow I ended up with a 10-7 record for the New York Jets because I only think they have one real tough stretch of their season, and it's right in the middle of the schedule. You go at Indianapolis, Buffalo, and then Miami. You got both those games at home. So that's the good part of that. that the Buffalo and Miami games are both home games after that road trip to Indianapolis. But I think that's the only time in the season where you're going to feel a real stretch, like it's been a slog of the last few games, because you just ended up with, open at Carolina. I think that's going to be a tough game in Zach Wilson's first game. And then you go.
I think Carolina's going to ask Darnold to do more than Zach Wilson's going to be asked to do from Rob Saleh. Mm-hmm. And I look at the Michael Carter thing. I said in the draft process, this is one of the most pro-ready guys in this draft because I think he can come right into his own scheme and be a starter. Mm-hmm. Well, the Jets got him in the 4th round, and he's going to get a shitload of carries.
Right. But then you get the New England Patriots and at the Denver Broncos, which are very winnable games. Then you have the Tennessee Titans. Okay? It's going to be a rough one. Well, then you get to follow up that with Atlanta, a bye week, then at the New England Patriots. And the Cincinnati Bengals. Then you got that tough 3-game stretch that I talked about earlier. And then you get Houston, Philadelphia, the Saints. It's a well spread out.
Yeah, there's not. I hate that the bye week's so early. I hate the London games. I've said that forever.
Right.
I don't want to get up at 9:30 in the morning on a freaking Sunday. But we will be live here from the Wicked Weed studio for all of the action in the 2021 NFL season. You'll be able to watch games live with us. All kinds of things live here from the Wicked Weed studios.
Yep.
I really like my team. I'm not going to lie to you. For the first time being a Jets fan in a long time, I look at Rob Saleh, I look at Joe Douglas, and I say the big boys in the room are the ones making the decisions. Mm-hmm. I like Zach Wilson. I like the weapons. I like the defense. I like it all. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I could see a path where we go 9-8. Everything's trending in the right direction, and we have 2 picks in the first round next year, and the highest one is the one that doesn't come from us.
Yeah, the bad thing is you're not going to be able to sneak up on playoff teams late in the season like you did last year.
No, and that's the thing. Looking at the way things are broken down, you had the Jets 2 games out of the playoffs. Mm-hmm. I conversely have the Jets about 2 games out of the playoffs, but I have more teams in front of them. Mm-hmm. I've got them in that Steelers, Raiders kind of tier.
Right.
And I think that's if we wind up there, we should all be happy about that.
Absolutely.
As a team that went 2-14 and could easily have gone 0-16 last year, that's a marked improvement in 1 year with Rob Saleh.
There is no doubt about it, and he will be Coach of the Year.
Oh,
if
100%.
that happens, if
we go 9-8 or 10-7, Rob Saleh's Coach of the Year, and I don't need to know shit.
Yeah. You have a 6-game turnaround in the first year. There's no doubt that Rob Saleh is the head coach of the year.
And I easily think they could. They go into next offseason with cap space. It's a good damn time to be a Jets fan.
Go ahead, do it. I'll let you do your Jets again.
Jets, Jets!
I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jet fan Jeremy Greene. We appreciate you joining us here in the Sportsocracy. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you get all of our content as it goes out, rolling through team by team, win-loss projections for this 2021 NFL season. Now who's being insufferable? Come on.
I've done it once. I've heard, let's see, let me find a stupid button that you found a way to get on this board.
Fire them cannons, by golly.
Go away.
Sorry, I don't have an all gas, no brakes sounder.
No, but I'll get the JETS thing on that board. You mark my words.
Oh, absolutely.
Happening.
I'm all down for it.
Happening.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you do that. Not a problem. We got plenty of space.
There we go. Just making sure it's how much bank space we have.
But yeah, the New York Jets. I think it's going to be good for them. Now we get to talk about the cellar dwellers in the NFC East.
The worst team in the AFC East, and it feels good to say that. The New England Patriots.
The New England Patriots spent $1 billion in the offseason to retool this team. And I still don't feel like you did much to really make an improvement on your team. And in fact, I'm going to bet that they win fewer games this year than they did last year.
I agree, because the division got better. Mm-hmm. The Dolphins are better. The Jets are better. I think Buffalo's better. Mm-hmm. And I just look at New England and go, you're going in with Mac Jones and you're going in with Cam Newton, and you can call me a hater all you want to. It has nothing to do with hate. I talk shit about Mac Jones in the pre-draft process. I've been hammering Cam Newton for 4 years. Those are your options at quarterback. It's the most important position in all of pro sports. It's not coming from me being a hater. That's what you've got. You have the worst quarterback situation in this division. You
Not
have,
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, you have the worst weapons in this division. It's not close. Man, it felt good to say that.
There's no doubt about it.
Good to say that.
And the New England.
And I'll be honest with you, of all the teams in the division, you got the fewest breaks in the schedule.
Oh, man. So they open up 2 division games back-to-back. Miami and New York. You easily lose both of those games, especially with the second game being at New York. You got the Saints. That could be a win. You got the Bucks. Definite loss.
Definite loss there. I mean, I look at them and go, they're probably going to lose in New York. I would take them to beat New Orleans. I would take them to beat Miami week 1 of the season. So I think they're going to be 2-1.
Okay.
Then you lose Tampa Bay, beat Houston, probably lose to Dallas. I would say you beat the Jets back at home. But then you start one of the ugliest stretches of a schedule in the NFL. With the 6 weeks before the bye week and the 2 weeks after are probably the ugliest set of schedule I've seen outside the Pittsburgh Steelers. You have to go cross country to the Chargers. That's a loss. You have to go to the Carolina Panthers. I think that's a loss because I think by then Sam Darnold will have started clicking. The weapons there. I really like that team. But let's say you win that. Are you beating Cleveland, Tennessee, Buffalo, or Indianapolis? And you play Buffalo twice.
Not a chance.
I would say not a snowball's chance in hell you beat any of those teams. So you catch one in Carolina, you catch one against the Falcons, and you go 2-6 right in the middle of your season. I just look at that and go, okay, so you started 4-3, and then you go 2-6.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not good. Then you close out with 2 games at Jacksonville, 1 at Miami, and I would say you lose in Miami.
When does Mac Jones start? Or does he start this year?
The one thing I will say for Mac Jones is that there's a path to him starting much easier than there is for Justin Fields or Trey Lance if they don't start right off the jump. Justin Fields, I've said multiple times, I don't see when you can get him in because that schedule is brutal. Mac Jones, I could see a path that he starts the season. That's what I think should happen. I think you should just get rid of Cam Newton right into the season with Mac Jones and Jared Stidham. But I don't think that's what Bill's going to do.
Bill's not going to do that.
I think Bill thinks the best chance for them to win right now is Cam Newton. Now, I don't think he's right. And I've heard this narrative of, Cam was so bad after he caught the coronavirus. Well, shit, I didn't know he caught it in 2016. That's crazy that Cam Newton caught a virus 4 years before it was developed.
It's just another litany in the laundry list of
And here's
injuries.
the thing. Patriots fans, you can call me a homer all you want to. We've covered Cam Newton for a Panthers radio network for years. I know Cam Newton better than you do. It ain't close. Everything I'm saying is true. And the minute you put him on the bench or put him on the put him off the team, you'll be willing to admit what I'm saying is right.
Yep. Jeremy and I both predicting that the New England Patriots will end up 6-11 this year. And I think that's kind of on the high side.
I do too. Well, I don't necessarily think it's on the high side. I think it's right.
It's right where it needs to be.
You know, and conversely, you look at your projections for the season on the whole. You have the Patriots as what, the sixth worst team in the AFC?
Yep.
You'd have them with a pick right in the front of the teens. So it'd be right in that 11 area. I'm not quite as low because I have a few more teams that are really bad than you do. But I don't see a path that New England doesn't finish as the worst team in this division.
I don't think you have. I don't think you have any teams as bad as I have. I got 3 1-2 lost or 2 win teams
because a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. It's better than Caleb. I think Caleb had 6 1-loss teams.
He did.
And a winless team.
Yeah, it was something like that. Houston Texans. Oh gosh, can't wait for that one. Which it'll be coming up here in the Sportsocracy. The Houston Texans win-loss record video. That one should be fun and quick
and very fast because when there's. But between 5 people, they had 6 wins? That'll be real quick. Yeah. Between the 5 on staff here, they had 6 total wins. So it shouldn't last long.
Rich and organic. The AFC East, yes, I think the Buffalo Bills are sitting atop the division. That will be the case for them all season long. I don't see them looking back over their shoulder at any of these teams.
I don't either. And sorry, Patriots fans, I hate to break it to you. It's going to be that bad. But this has been the Patriots 2021 win-loss projection from the Sportsocracy.
I think the Miami Dolphins are the team that I am the most wrong about after going through our little post-schedule
I would
prediction
say so.
session.
Other than the fact that I didn't have the right number of games for the Dolphins, I think I am spot on of what's going to happen in this division.
I think you're much closer than I am.
There are a couple divisions that, as we did this, I don't feel as warm and fuzzy about. I look at this division and go, I won't be shocked if I'm right to the number.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, minus that 5 next to the Dolphins because
Right.
they played 17 games.
Maybe
So unless they just don't show up and they boycott one, they're not going to be 11-5. But I do think they'll be 11-6.
Absolutely. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. This has been the NFC East win-loss AFC East win-loss projections for the upcoming 2021 NFL season. Don't forget to subscribe to the Sportsocracy. Follow along all season long as we will have team-specific content no matter who your team is. Share it out with your friends as well. Check us out on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy. Join the Patreon community, the Sportsocracy community, patreon.com/the Sportsocracy. And we are live, as always, in the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different.